What's good, team? Good morning, good morning. What's good, team? All right, cool. I hear myself. Any questions, let me know. Any specific pairs you guys are looking at, let me know. Can you send link to your record? Yeah, I got you. Um, Turn the stream on. I was just kind of going through the pairs one by one. So pretty much same shit we talked about yesterday, guys. Literally the exact same thing we talked about last night. Looking at the behavior of how price is moving since the beginning of the week, right? Knowing that we have FOMC at 2 p.m. today, I'm expecting price to just consolidate. And that's pretty much what every pair did. Right? This isn't a trade that I took. We just drew this out yesterday. Right? Price is at our point of interest. And it did give us a nice little break above. So this could be a good one to keep an eye on. Only thing is, again, this is EA, right? Euro AUD. This isn't really a pair that I'm expecting price to give a lot of volume during the NYC session. So we'll continue to keep an eye on EA. ECAD just consolidating since the market open. EU came back to the highs and then came back right back down. So we're still in the zone consolidation for EU. For GA, I'm not trading GA. GCAD just moving sideways. GJ gave us a push down into the engulfing candle in the 4-hour time frame. So again, this is another pair similar to EA. We're at our point of interest, so this could be a good one to keep an eye on. GU, again, same thing as EU. Still in the zone of consolidation, still in this shoulder head shoulder. At this point, you just got to be patient with it. US 30, same thing. All right, we have medium impact news now in 20 minutes. What is price doing? Just moving sideways. Been moving sideways the entire day. Gold, same thing, just moving sideways. Choppy movement, right? So the question is like, okay, if every pair is in a zone of consolidation, what do you do? Right? For me, it's very simple. For me, personally, it's very simple. What is the definition of a zone of consolidation? There's two things I'll say. I'll give you a minute to answer that question in the chat. What is a zone of consolidation? Oil gave us a inducement of the low. Remember what we were talking about yesterday? This is where we'd want to start seeing price give us higher highs and higher lows after the inducement. Right, and then we had the change of character. We have the break of structure. Is there any higher time frame entries here? Engulfing candles, something. No. Okay. And then silver, same thing, moving sideways. So again, what is a zone of consolidation? A zone of consolidation is an area in the market where the market makers are trapping traders, inducing traders to get into a trade to hunt for their stop losses. Right? And the characteristics of a zone of consolidation is just sideways movement. So again, I already know the definition of a zone of consolidation, an area where the market makers are trapping traders. On a day where every single pair is just moving sideways, what am I gonna do? Nothing. This is a day where I'm hands off. Why am I gonna put myself in a position to get into a trade to get trapped? when there's no clear market direction. The trend is your friend, yo. Trading is very simple. Trading could either be very simple or it could be very difficult. It depends on what you do. But again, for me, this shit is very simple. The trend is your friend. Are we trending? No, we're moving sideways. Okay, there's no clear market trend right now. Cool. No problem. I'm waiting it out. It's very simple. In a zone of consolidation, when should you start looking for trades in a zone of consolidation? Either when price gives you the inducement to move the opposite way, or when price gives you a break of structure to continue the trend. That's it. And right now, when we go through each and every pair once again, right? I just ask the question. For GU, do we have the inducement? No. Why? Because GU, this zone of consolidation, is just a shoulder head shoulder variation. So in order for us to have a valid break of this bearish shoulder head shoulder, in order for us to have the confirmation that price is going to continue the trend, what do we want to see? We want to see price give us a break, retest to continue. Or this is where price is going to give you the inducement to then go back to the top of the zone of consolidation. So I'm waiting it out. What are we doing right now? Nothing. We're just moving sideways. There's no confirmation. We don't have the inducement. We don't have the break of structure. I'm okay with this, right? Understanding that we have news in 15 minutes. If volume comes into the charts, let's say we get into a trade here somewhere because we're anxious and we want to get into a trade. Let's say you get into a buy position here because you think, oh, look, it's not breaking these lows and it's still rejecting these lows, and we're going to go up because this is a support zone. At 8:30, that news could drop and price could fucking just drop like crazy and then come back up. Or vice versa, for those who are still trading the lower time frame, right? Oh, it's still lower low, lower high, lower low. We're looking for a lower high. I'm going to get in on a lower high. Right? Like there's no way, no reason why you should be getting into a trade in this area right now for GU. So again, let's just go through these one by one, right? AU, same thing. Right? AU, we're in a zone of consolidation. I'm waiting for a valid break. EA is the only one right now that did give us a valid break of this area that we were talking about yesterday. Again, the only thing I don't like about these buy positions in this area is the fact that, again, we are still on a downtrend, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low. Technically, this is still a lower high point. So with EA, this is the only thing I don't like about this position, is the fact that we are still on a downtrend, right? We're getting in a buy position when price and market structure is still on a downtrend. That's the only bad thing about this trade here. Makes it very low probability. ECAD, what are we doing? Moving sideways. Cool. Waiting it out. Right. From these highs to these lows. EU, what are we doing? Moving sideways. Same thing. Right, so we're going to be patient. I'm not going to rush into none of these trades. GA, what are we doing? Moving sideways. Right, so what is there to trade? Nothing. GCAD, what are we doing? Moving sideways. GJ is just on a league of its own. I do like the fact that we still have higher high, higher high, higher high, higher low, higher low, higher low. We're still respecting structure on the higher time frames and everything. Would have loved for price to have given us that confirmed 372, that push. We could still get that push. I don't believe STP has been hit yet for GJ. And again, we're back at our point of interest. This is where we would want to start looking for those buy positions. If we go down, I just want to see if we have an engulfing candle or something just to catch something simple on the lower time frames. Nothing. All we have is just exhaustion candles on every single time frame. No engulfing candles. And then when we look at structure, we have lower low, lower high, lower low. Right? Price never broke these lows, right? Or these highs. And then if we want to get a little bit aggressive with it on the 1 minute, we could do that. Price gave us lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, change of character, higher low. Now we were looking for price to give us a valid break to confirm, but it didn't. And then price came back down, lower low, lower high, lower low. Right, so in order for me to start looking for buy positions, I need to see price give us this change of character to the top side. Right, we know we're trading between these lower lows and those lower highs. Right, so price now gave us the change of character. We'll be patient with GJ. We'll keep GJ on that screen. Right, GU, we spoke about this. We're in a zone of consolidation, no inducement, no break. We're gonna wait it out. Right, I'm not gonna rush into none of those trades that were moving sideways. Right, US 30, same thing we talked about yesterday. They're gonna keep it simple for us. What have we been doing all day since the market opened? Just moving sideways. Perfect. That's exactly what price needs to do. So again, for US 30, it's simple. It's an NYC pair. We'll wait for that news to drop in 10 minutes. If there's no volume, then we'll wait for the 9:30 open. And once again, we know we have news at 2 p.m. today. So if the markets don't move by 9:45, 10 a.m., we know the volume is going to come in at 2 p.m. When we're looking at gold, again, gold, similar to GU and all the other pairs, what are we doing? Just moving sideways. Right? Externally, we're moving sideways, and for the move for the day, we're still just sideways movement. So we'll be patient. Same thing we drew yesterday again. Bitcoin just pushed down when the market's open. Gave a fake out, right? Gave a little fake engulfing candle last night at around 10 p.m. and then shot right back down. Again, for oil, we were waiting to see if price is going to give us a valid break. It didn't give us a valid break. It gave us the inducement. And then now it's starting that push back to the top side a little bit. And then silver, once again, moving sideways. So realistically speaking, I'm truly just going to be looking at two pairs for the rest of the day. US 30 being one of them, and then GJ being the other one. So we'll see. Any questions so far, guys? Let me know. Any specific pairs you guys want me to go over? Let me know. If not, once again, we got 7 minutes for the news to hit. So we'll just be patient. Pretty much, guys, like if by 9:35, 9:40, if there's nothing to catch, then I'll be done for the day and we'll be back again tonight. Also, to get ready for the rest of the week. Again, once again, we have news at 2:30, and then tonight we have NZD news at 6, and GBP news again at 2 in the morning. We have a lot of news tomorrow night. We have 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 7 a.m. And then Friday's a bank holiday for what? What's Friday? Oh. Alright, so Thursday should really be the last trading day tomorrow. I'm not really expecting no volume on Friday. And then Sunday's Father's Day. So just to announce, I won't be home until Tuesday. So we'll be back Tuesday, going into next week. And then I won't be home again Friday, but I'll be back home Sunday for the last day of the month. NFP on Thursday. All right. One board iPhone user at a time. Just a message to Apple. My name is Carl. I make phones in London. I'm going to steal your customers. One board iPhone user at a time. What's good, Shakai? Welcome, my brother.
Oh, this is terrible. I'm gonna be so real. This map stinks. Yo, thank you so much for the 47. This is easy.
Hey, bro, have you been here for long? Like 40 minutes? Good morning. Oh, okay. Are we still in level 3 rise on EuroCAD? Um, yeah, for EuroCAD, just go back to it. For EuroCAD, we're still in level 3. All right, so we had that 8:30 news. Didn't really give us no volume, so again, we have news today at 2, and we have the market open at 9:30. So we'll give the markets about another hour. We don't really get nothing simple, no entries before 9:30. I'll be done for the day. I will be back again tomorrow. Thank you, no problem. Do you ever stay behind the charts at 11 a.m.? Not usually, no. Um, there are a lot of times where the market's going to give you the move. Like, let's talk about a day like today, right? Again, we have news at 2 in the afternoon. So if there's no volume, right? If we look at US 30, just to use US 30 as an example, but you could use any other pair as an example. If a certain pair hasn't hit STP or ADR by 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, you know the move is going to happen later on in the day, right? So again, on a day like today where you have news at 2 in the afternoon, you already know. And again, we just had news now at 8:30. Was there any volume in the market? No, nothing happened. Okay, cool. So now when's the next time that the market should move? 9:30. 9:30 a.m. is the NYC market open. If there's no volume at 9:30, from 9:30 to 9:45, then we know that the market's going to wait until 2 p.m. to make that move. And why 2 p.m.? Because 2 p.m. is the high impact news. So on a day like today, would it be um would it be smart to trade after, right, 11 a.m. to wait for that 2 p.m. news? Yeah, it could be. Um on a day where there's no news, but there's no volume in the market, also would be pretty smart. It would be a good idea to trade after. But I personally, I don't do that. I don't have time to sit and babysit the charts for 20 hours a day. So I trade whenever I'm on the charts is when I'm trading. So again, it could be the beginning of Asia session while we're doing the isolation session, while we update our charts. And then again, I'm back on the charts at 6 a.m. from 6 to 10:30. And that's it. Very rarely do I stay on the charts after 11 in the morning. Very rarely.
Modernity and history. By giving them this Diet Coke, I will move them ahead 10,000 years. No, 30,000 more likely. Have some food and then I'll check back in. But yeah, this is North Sentinel Island. So yeah, it's been a minute since anyone's been here, but I'm gonna assess the state of affairs, check in, say what's up, and history all in one day. Beach. So the goal, introduce this Paleolithic. We came down to Red Lobster because so the goal, introduce this Paleolithic tribe and history. By giving them this Diet Coke, I will move them ahead 10,000 years. No, 30,000 more likely. Have some food and then I'll check back in. But yeah, this is North Sentinel Island. Yeah, it's been a minute since anyone's been here, but I'm gonna.
So that YouTuber who gave the North Sentinel Island tribe a can of Diet Coke and risked everything, including serious jail time, solely for content, has just escaped a prison sentence, if you can believe that. Hokkaido spent 9 hours crossing the water in a rubber dinghy before reaching the island, where he blew a whistle in an attempt to attract attention and left behind a coconut and a can of Diet Coke. He was then arrested arrested 2 days later after he documented the trip and was charged with illegally entering a prohibited tribal reserve area, a crime that comes with a maximum punishment of up to 5 years in jail. However, he was able to get off with just a 15,000 rupee or $161 fine and no jail time at all. He said that the goal behind this was to propel them thousands of years into the future and give them a gift that was representative of our civilization. So that YouTuber who gave the North Sentinel Island tribe a can of diet.
Why did they bring you back?
So they wanted to. So there's a lot I could say, but so they wanted to find the Coke can that I left. They wanted to recover that as sort of evidence, and they wanted to take soil because when I went there, I took some sand with me, and they wanted to take some sand as well to compare. They were also there for a third reason that I can't talk about. But yeah, so they had like a few reasons, like why they.
So they brought you back like while the court case or the legal proceedings were going on. And they were like, I mean, they kind of had what was in your camera as proof, and then they were kind of like, let's go collect more evidence.
Yeah, exactly. So this was shortly after I was arrested. So this was whole like I think like that whole like episode was interesting. The state of the we came down to red light.
The jetpack man might be back. An Air Force pilot just said they saw a man in a wingsuit while on approach to LAX.
Somebody cross above us for 4,000 in our wingsuit.
That's concerning, to say the least. If you're unfamiliar with the original jetpack man, he was spotted at least 5 times in LA between 2020 and 2022. Interestingly, around the same altitude, these pilots saw the man wingsuit. If you have any theories, I'd love to hear them. I'll put the plane's registration on screen if you'd like to go check out the plane yourself.
The U.S. Embassy is warning Americans in the Bahamas to avoid jet ski rentals. Officials say they've received several reports of sexual assaults and accidents on excursions there. The embassy says jet ski operators are not being forced to adhere to safety regulations. Since 2024, the embassy's received 7 reports of sexual assaults against U.S. women by jet ski operators. The U.S. Embassy is warning Americans in the Bahamas. Connect same dots. good art feels created by art. Just to keep our ratings up, because they literally for people who are like 2%, genuinely breaking from growth. I swear there's a love line. 0.600. Make a difference. It's close. It's gonna make a difference. It's what I'm crazy.
Doing this all day. Every weapon in the house. I swapped all the fire pins before I left the house. I always do. Looks like I need a micrometer to tell. But the gun don't shoot. The bullet you got out of that bishop was fired from my weapon, but a week before it, a can of stew. I'd taken over to defend this country from all enemies, foreign and domestic. Just didn't figure it ended up quite this involved. At the end of the day, when all the dust settles, you can't hide from the truth, you son of a bitch.
This is so fucked up, I'll be shocked if you managed to find another guy. Regardless of how these events occurred in another country outside of our laws.
So that's it. That's the best you can do.
This isn't the world court, sir. I have the jurisdiction to detain the colonel for crimes he may or may not have committed on another continent.
Sir, I urge you to reconsider.
There's nothing to reconsider, son. You lose. Okay.
0.600. All right.
Ain't gonna make a difference. It's close. Only thing that's gonna make a difference is whether I'm crazy.
School, but you're not an optometrist, and also you're not a nurse. Because Caleb having 2013 vision means that his vision is better than some. You said you were 2030, which means your vision is actually better. Him having 2013 vision means that this object sharp.
You gotta send this girl home. Her name is Kinsey. She's messing up our brand. All I need is your name and your signature. We're gonna be one step closer to sending Kinsey home. Here, you can use my leg. Whatever you need. Thank you for your service, King.
New York. What can I get you?
Wow.
Whoa, 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 whoa. When the back.
Here in New York City, you have that distinction.
The new line of sodas called Dirty Sodas with over 46 flavors, if I counted correctly. Add a soda of your choice, and you have an unlimited option of syrups, purees, and creams, which can top up to 186 grams of sugar, just like this crazy Cousins ones. It has a whole can of Red Bull, some other cream, some other syrup, 840 calories, and it's equivalent to either 5 cans of Coke or 19 Krispy Kreme donuts. Are you nuts? Let's make it nuts.
storms are brewing. It's ADT coming to ruin our day. 5. Take a step on it, Johnny. Yeah, just like their equipment rumbles away. It was a pleasure, Patty. Absolutely. Well, if you need anything, just shoot me a text. She'll be here pretty short. Okay? All right, let's get this thing out of here before I call the cops and have them come take it out, all right? All right. We're recording. Boom. Now jump on it. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Look at storms are brewing. It's ADT coming to ruin our day. 5. Take a step on it, Johnny. Yeah, look at that. Just like their equipment rumbles away. It was a pleasure, Patty. Absolutely. Well, if you need anything, just shoot me a text. She'll be here pretty short. Okay? All right, Mary. Let's get this thing out of here before I call the cops and have them come take it out, all right? All right. We're recording. Boom. Now jump on it. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Look at storms are brewing. It's ADT coming to ruin our day. Boy, I like the way you shake it. I'm tempted to buy another one just to watch you walk away again. Matter of fact,
Good morning, Mr. Bashir. Welcome, my brother.
Most people who are on the show are people who have been recruited. They can be recommended through another islander. A lot of times they're sliding through DMs. They go to boat parties. Especially after last year, they like normal people. The casting director told me that like we just want like someone like works at Sephora have sweet roles. They love like regional accents. They're like we would love a costume. Like that's our dream. We just haven't happened yet. You know, they want people who are like not typical islanders always. You know, now more than 100,000 people are applying to the show. Yeah, I build them. Oh, I build them to make them look nice. So yeah. I make my money somehow. Who's that? Sound like a race. It's the graphics card. Yeah. I'm not too sure. It's probably just like a.
What does PH mean? Peak high. Secondly, for the EMA crossing, if I'm to expect the 50 to cross the 200 level 2, should I still expect price to bounce off the 200? We'll look for an entry. Yeah, in level 2, you're looking for price to bounce off the 200 EMA. Level 1 and level 3, you're looking for price to bounce off the 50 EMA. Oh man. We got 10 minutes for the NYC Open. We'll wait it out. We'll see if we get some volume. And then depending on what GJ does, I already got my stops at break even. At least I would like to see price for GJ go back up to the 800 EMA here on the 1 minute to just continue this uptrend push that we have currently. And price is still making higher highs and higher lows with valid breaks. So we'll be patient with GJ. I don't think STP is going to be hit for the day. You know, going long. I don't see this move happening. But yeah, we'll be patient with it, man. We'll be patient. We got a lot of news today. A lot of volume will come into the charts. So again, at this point, I'm pretty much just babysitting these trades. That's all it is. I'm gonna just continue to babysit the trades. We're still making higher highs and higher lows. So let's say price comes up and gives us an inducement of these highs, then I'll just get out of the trade at these highs with the inducement. If price comes back up and gives us another valid break, then I'll just continue to move my stop a little bit closer, a little bit higher, give us a confirmed break, right? And then we know we'll be trading higher high, higher low into whatever higher highs are set here. And then US 30 again, US 30 right now is just still moving sideways. The 8:30 news that came in didn't bring no volume into the charts. Hopefully, we'll see now at 9:30 what price does. And again, if there's no volume at 9:30, then we know it's just gonna come in at 2 p.m. for that news that we have later on in the day. So GJ gave us an inducement of the high, didn't give us a valid break just yet. I'm just gonna babysit the trade here now. Move my stops a little bit closer. So the entries after a change of character in the 30-minute time frame depends what entry you're looking at. So ideally, right, it just depends on what structure you're looking at on a specific pair. So like for example with GJ, right? GJ right now, we don't really have 30-minute structure. Everything that we're seeing after this low and after this high, all of this has been internal time frame. So with that being said, right, internally, we could still see we're in an uptrend. Right, we could still see price giving us higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low into the point of interest where this engulfing candle was at on the 4-hour time frame. So instead of looking for 30-minute change of character and break, I was looking for it on the 1 minute. Since this is all internal movements, we got higher high, change of character, higher low. Price gave us the higher high, the valid break happened here, gave us the higher low point, right? The higher low point was, again, the retest of the engulfing candle after the valid break, bounce off the 50 EMA, 50's crossing above the 200, perfect. Right, if you put your fib, this is also a 50% retracement of the fib level. To then continue, right? We got another valid break, higher high, higher low. And now again, I'm looking for a valid break of these highs to continue to see this push back to the top side. But if we get the inducement of these highs and price starts pushing back down, then I'll be getting out of the trade a little bit earlier. But that's okay, right? We know news comes out in 2 minutes. So this is why I'm babysitting this trade. And then US 30, we're still just moving sideways. So I'm not really looking at anything right now for US 30. And again, my stop loss is already at profits. We can see that price again just gave us the inducement, hasn't given us a valid break just yet. So we'll wait it out and see what price does. That news is going to move. I have a feeling GJ is going to kind of move a little bit crazy. At not the news time, the NYC market open at 9:30. Got a minute left. We'll see what happens. Yep, we got 5 seconds. Still don't have a valid break. Just giving us exhaustion candles at these highs. Good that you set break even. Yeah, it's not crazy. It's just following the structure, right? Where it's like again, it's just really understanding, like, again, why did I even take this? Right? Let's break it down. Right? Why did I take the trade? Is just continuing to catch the trend. Right? The continuation. We got the change, we got the valid break, we got the retest, cool. Right? Understanding that just looking at where price is at now, what price is doing, how price is moving, right? Am I really expecting price? Am I really expecting price to give me 70 pips back to the top side? No, I'm not expecting it. Price already gave us a lot of volume during the Asia session, end of Asia going into London. And then London going into the NYC, what has price been moving? What has price been doing? Just moving sideways. Right? So again, once you just continue to follow the structure, in order for price to continue these pushes to the top side, what do we want to see? We want to see price give us a valid break. Did we get a valid break at these higher highs? No. Right, so we already know, like, yo, price is gonna come back down, start inducing traders. Right, so why would I keep my stop loss in the negative when it's like whatever? I'm looking at structure. I know that this trade isn't even something that I'm gonna hold on for this long, right? The longest that I would have held this trade for would have been the 800 EMA. That's it. Like this was a small trade. Like literally cashed out on a 1-to-1. It's not bad. It is what it is, right? For this position. But again, I don't really like trading like this. It's not worth it to me. Catching a 1-to-1, catching a 1-to-2, like it's really not worth it to me. Like I would rather catch the trade of the day than have to catch 2-3 trades in a day, just baby trades. 1-to-1s, like 1-to-2s, like that's not, it's good profit again if you need it. Right? It's cool, couple $100 here. It's not bad. But we already know, like, before we even got into this trade, it's like, yeah, it's not even a good trade. It's not even something that you should really be chasing. Similar to 30, right? Like right now for 30, I'm just gonna play it safe. I'm not gonna rush into any of these trades. Similar situation. On a day like today where we have that late news, I don't really like to trade. I would rather babysit the trades. And again, we went through the pairs one by one. Every single pair except for GJ is in a zone of consolidation. Every single pair. So again, what are we doing trading zones of consolidation? Right? GJ and EA were the only two pairs that aren't in a zone of consolidation, right? EA gave us a break. But why was this low probability? We talked about it yesterday because technically speaking, looking at market structure, what is price doing? Lower low, lower high, lower low. And this push to the top side was just a lower high point. So again, like this shit really isn't difficult. It really isn't. Right? ECAT is moving sideways, EU is moving sideways. GA, I'm not trading it, but GA is also just moving sideways. GCAD, what are we doing? Moving sideways for the entire week. GU, what has price been doing for an entire week? Just moving sideways. Like, there's nothing to trade here. Right? US 30 for the day. Since the markets have opened, what has price been doing? Just moving sideways, rejecting the lows, coming back to the highs. Like, there's no point in chasing these trades. Right? I would rather wait for the confirmations. Like, at this point, once again, like, why am I not rushing into getting into these buy positions for US 30? The daily time frame and the 4-hour time frame, where are we? We're at higher highs. We're at the highest point again in the market. We're at a higher high point. Am I going to get into a buy position at a higher high? Or would I rather get into a buy position when price gives us a set higher low, and then in the higher low continue to take trades into a higher high? It's very simple, right? We have these gaps at the bottom of the market. At this point, I'm waiting for my confirmations to go short. Once I get those confirmations, I already know that my TP is going to be set where this 30-minute gap is at the bottom of the market. Right? So at this point, again, either price is going to give us the inducement of the high to start going short, and that's when I'll start looking to take trades going short, or price is going to give us a valid break to continue that push to the top side. But before price even gets to these highs, we need to see what price is going to do here, right? And before price goes short, we need to see what price is going to do here. We either have a break to the highs, clean traffic back to the 30-minute highs, or price is going to give us a break of the low, clean traffic all the way back down to the 30-minute lows. So US 30 is just, this one is one where I am going to be patient. I'm not going to rush into any trades, right? Gold, what is gold doing? Moving sideways. Moving sideways. We already understand a zone of consolidation is an area in the market where the market makers are trapping traders. If you already know you're in a zone of consolidation and you know that this is where the market makers are trapping traders, why are you forcing yourself to get into a trade? There's no point. Right? Oil is doing exactly what we drew yesterday. This isn't something I drew today. Like, we drew this yesterday. Think about that. Exactly what we drew out, right? A little zone of consolidation, an inducement to the low. At the inducement of the low, this is where price is going to turn around and go back to the top side. Perfect. And we knew that was going to happen because price never gave us a valid break of the lows. It gave us the inducement, gave us the exhaustion candle, gave us a double bottom, lower time frame, gave us a change in the break back to the top side. Super simple stuff. And then silver, what is price doing? Moving sideways. And once again, sideways movement, zone of consolidation, area in the market where the market makers are trapping traders, inducing traders to get into a trade to hunt for their stop losses. I'm not getting into any of these trades. I'm good. Like, there's literally no need to feel like, oh, I'm gonna miss the trade. I'm anxious. I gotta take a trade. Like, yo, you're tweaking. Like, it's really not that difficult. It's really not that serious. Again, you already know that the fire is hot. Are you gonna go and touch the fire? No. The same thing in trading. Like, yo, you already know where you're at. You already know this is where you're gonna get trapped. Why are you even gonna force a trade? Either wait for the inducement to take the trade going the opposite way, or you wait for the breakout to continue to take trades going with the trend. That's the only two things you could do in this area. The only two things you could do in a zone of consolidation. You either wait for the inducement or you wait for the break. That's it. Or you have the chance to just not fucking do anything at all. Stop trading. Wait until price starts trending. Once we start trending again, then you start taking trades. So again, like a day like today, well, I'm not even gonna say a week like this week, but we haven't taken any trades this week, right? So we'll say a week like this week, but specifically a day like today is a day where I wouldn't even look at the charts. Like, I'm only here because I said I was gonna turn the stream on, but I've been saying it all week. But again, all week we've been waiting for price to do something to give us a confirmation for today, and we don't have that. Again, every single pair this week, we just went through it one by one. Right? 90% of the pairs have just been moving sideways this week since the start of the week. So there hasn't been nothing to trade. This is what a regular trading day looks like for me, though. And again, the only reason I took that position on GJ was just to take it, just to say I did something on stream. But again, realistically speaking, this is not a day where I'll be trading. This is another day, just like any other day, where I literally just sit here, I look at candlesticks print all day. That's my job, is just looking at candlesticks print. Break even was like 8 pips. Break even is break even. Break even is break even. This position was three pips. Literally. stop loss was over here, below this wick. This 3.8 pips was where I got out of this trade. If I would have had my stop and break even, I would have made nothing. Break even is when you put your stop loss exactly where your entry was at. I had a trailing stop. My trailing stop was at 3.8 pips. My bad, I'm back. What's good, Shakai? Welcome, my brother. Welcome. I think I'm gonna give the charts just like 5 minutes, and then I'm out of here, guys. So again, any questions, let me know. Anything you guys want me to go over, any specific pairs you guys want me to talk about before I leave, let me know. If not, again, I'm gonna just give the charts under 3 minutes. I'll give it to the 5 minute candle. And then I'll be back again tonight. Going fishing? Nah. It's too hot for that. Got a couple things I gotta take care of today. The new Spider-Man movie comes out July 31st. Damn. There's no seats left. People must really like watching fucking Spider-Man. It's crazy work. Have you watched From the movie series? No. I haven't even heard of that. I'm very bad when it comes to movies and TV shows. I'm not up to speed with them. Okay. This 30-minute candle will be interesting, especially for 2 p.m. Like, again, this is still an inducement candle, right? So for you guys who want to trade news and want to continue to look at charts, if price doesn't give us a valid break of these highs, this is where I'll be looking for this inducement to happen. Right? But if price gives us a valid break, then I'll be looking for price to give us a continuation back to the top side, but we'll see. These next couple 30-minute candles from now until 2 p.m. is really going to tell us what price wants to do. And if price gives us an inducement and then on the lower time frame, right now we're still higher high, higher low even on the lower time frame, but if we could get price to give us lower lows and lower highs after the inducement, or it gives us an engulfing candle on the 5-minute or the 1-minute, that'll be the simple trades to take for today. So that's pretty much it for me today. We'll be back later tonight. I'll tell you guys right now what time I'll be back home. I'll probably be home around the same time as yesterday. So let me check. I'll double check for you guys right now. Yeah, the stream will be. I'll turn the stream on at around 7:30, 7:45 tonight, and then we'll get our charts ready for tomorrow. We'll talk about what happened today, and we'll get our charts ready for tomorrow. But hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Peace out.